We're live.
RJ, how you doing? How you living? How you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling great. Last week of this, and then we got football all day tomorrow. We got UFC during the day tomorrow. We got horse racing during the day tomorrow. So it's action-packed Saturday. I'll have my ASS ish stuck to the couch watching sports. Can't think of anything better than that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It is last weekend here. So wrap up for us. This will be the last episode. The final furlong for this season. Last article will come out tomorrow as well. We did discuss, like RJ said, we're gonna do little little football videos for the remainder of NFL season. We're gonna do a few picks and stuff. So we'll get going probably, I think, next weekend, right? We'll shoot that. Yeah. So next weekend, that's week one already, which is crazy. But yeah, it's been a great season. Good final furlong. First season of us doing the videos. I think it went well.
Yeah.
I think we've definitely made some progress as this thing has kind of slowly started to form, last year.
Yeah, no, I think it's been great. I think every week we do this, it's getting better and better. So no, I'm super happy. I can't be more happy than how we did last week. We had such a great week, Travers week, and I feel like we called a lot of what happened, and hoping to build upon that week. If we can have an even better week, then we'll be rolling in the Donald Duck dough.
Yeah, dude. It always feels good to like hit those big weekends, and we do this whole thing. I think Belmont Stakes weekend, that opening weekend, is like the most pressure because you're back and it's a great card, but then everything kind of builds up to the Travers. So I think for us to do a good job on Travers Day is like, we're like you said, we're kind of like, all right, we really hope we do a good job this week, but like we took care of business last week. So
yeah, and that was the biggest thing, is making sure we had a good week last week. And I feel like we got on such a roll last week. It was like almost immediate, like we started the day, we knew we were going through the day, we were gunning day pretty hard. So that was good. I mean, Gufo won, Gamine won. Jackie's Warrior won as well.
Warrior, that was a fantastic. That was probably my favorite. Yeah, that was my favorite race of the day, just because of my appreciation for Jackie's Warrior. Like that was, I thought at the top of the stretch when she wasn't moving, I was like, that's it. Like that, that's that. He's not going to get there. And then he did, he fought back on the rails. So that was awesome. I think probably the coolest thing that I don't know if you and I are ever going to see again was Friends I Fire literally just biting the other horse.
Yeah.
Savaging.
Latruska, right?
Yeah. That's apparently what that's called, is savaging. But that was like absolutely
I've never seen it.
Wild.
Yeah.
He's never seen that before.
I was showing all my friends. I was like, dude, the horse tried to bite the other horse coming down the strip.
And like, it wasn't like a little nibble.
No, it was trying to bite. I think it was trying to bite like the reins of the horse, like the horse, how it has across the reins of his face, like to yank the horse. Like,
yeah, it was almost like it was tired of the horse running next to it. It was like, all right, now I'm just going to kill you now.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then I think that was ultimately her demise, because then Latruska ends up winning that race, right?
Yeah, well, that wasn't the Latruska race was a different. Yeah, I can't remember who actually. I was so focused on Friends I Fire, I can't remember who actually won that race.
Okay,
but yeah,
that was.
Yeah, it was nuts. And I had a buddy text me. It was like
Yaupon.
Another Yaupon. Yeah. Yaupon. That was. Yeah, and honestly, what was crazy is Friends I Fire was, I think, 6-1, and it was seemingly going to win the race. Like, it was gonna win if it kept going forward.
But it just got sidetracked. But yeah, no, it was good to watch. Gamine ran a race that I don't even think she ran at her best, and still just had too much for everybody else. So that was
that was you and I talked about, because I called you after the race. Was, everybody's gonna look at the finish and say, she didn't finish the way she usually does, but she put those horses away early because she went so fast early, and that's her style. She brings you into the deep water, and keeps bringing you in. And then when you think she's not going to keep going, she just keeps going. So even though she didn't win by the, 10 plus lengths that are on her record, she still won, I think, very impressively, because she was like, listen, you're not in my league. So if you can't keep up with me, I'm going to keep going this fast. That's the thing about that horse that I think makes her so special, is that she don't care, man. She's a bully.
And she's so big. Like, I was like,
too.
I was looking at the DRF had the, the photos. They have the photos of the buyer, and then they have the photo of the horse coming down that stretch. Oh my, it looks like the skin is like the hair and the skin is too small for her muscles. You know what I mean? It's like out of like a women's bodybuilding fitness model, it's crazy. It's insane. It's just like a beautiful horse. And that's that week. All of those horses are like, they're like celebrities, like,
and like Essential Quality. He's another one. Like it's so crazy to me, because like people say horses are so smart and everything, but like, it's almost like Essential Quality knows he just has to do enough each time. So like once he gets past somebody, he's like, all right, I'm going to beat you. I don't have to exert myself, because I did what I had to do. Like it's crazy. And he always runs like that. So I don't know. I thought Essential Quality, I thought all the, like you said, celebrities, superstars, I thought they were all impressive. Colleen showed up, Jackie's Warrior. I mean, and that race with Jackie's Warrior against Going Good. Yeah. I mean, Going Good is a celebrity in its own right. That horse is fantastic. So that was a throwdown. Like, I feel like every one of those horses, like you said, that we touched on, just they brought their A game, and it made the racing fantastic.
No, and I don't even think Going Good ran a bad race. I don't even think, I thought it was a great race from her. I think she just got she just ended up sometimes you're just not the winner, right. But they can build upon that, and they will. And that's a horse that's going to win more stakes races. That horse going into that race, they were mired with so many questions about, well, we're giving this horse a chance. It's only had 2 races, but it's got some good speed, and that horse wasn't scared. So that, a great sign for Going Good. And, we'll see that horse in action very soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. And what's crazy is, like, when this finishes up, there's the little fall meet in Belmont, but the Breeders' Cup is right around the corner. Breeders' Cup, I believe, is end of September. I think they race that weekend. So, I mean, a lot of these horses that we just saw are going to get turned back into the Breeders' Cup races. So, I mean, that's always a fantastic, we don't cover it, for the final furlong, but that's always arguably one of the biggest days in racing. There's, like the Pegasus World Cup, the Dubai World Cup, Breeders' Cup Day. Like, those are just gigantic weekends.
When is the Pegasus World Cup? Is that earlier in the year?
I believe so. Yeah, I think so. I don't know the date off the top of my, but that's the one that's raced at Gulfstream. Yeah.
I'll have to go, because that's like I like the Gulfstream where all the horses come out, because it's like a big circle garden area, and they trot the horses around a couple times so you can see like the horses before they get onto the track. It's a nice track. I like that track. So, but I'm definitely going to go for the $1 million race?
I think so. Yeah. It's the richest race that you can run. I believe so. At least it was. I don't know if anything passed it, but I think it's the richest one in the States. I know the Dubai World Cup's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Oil money over there, but like, I think the Pegasus is the biggest race in the States. Yeah. Okay. Which is pretty sick. But yeah, this week we got 12 races, 3 graded stakes races. Nice closing Saturday. We got the Prioress Stakes, the Saranac Stakes, and the Jockey Gold Cup Stakes. I think I might be missing a word there in the jockey one. But
I think we actually got 4, don't we? A grade 2, a grade 3, and 2 grade 1s.
Yeah, do we?
Yeah. Grade
All right,
2,
cool.
Grade 2, grade 3, and then we end off 11 and 12 with 2 grade 1s. The Flower Bowl.
That's right. I forgot this.
Because they run that at Belmont. They run that at Belmont. Yeah. They don't run it here.
Yes, and usually we don't get a stakes race to end the day.
Yeah.
So cool that we now have a stakes race for the last race. I think that's cool because that usually that last race is like if it's
$35,000 claimer. Yeah. $35,000 claimer, and the winner is a 8-1 Jose Lozcano and Rudy Rodriguez.
Yeah, exactly.
Horses like Candy Handler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 14 horse Candy Handler wins that race.
Yeah,
Nobody bet on.
Brutal.
Yeah. You're like, what? I didn't even know the
so like I said,
racing.
we got a good one here. Yeah, we got a good one this week. We're definitely going to dive right into it. I know you got a little bit to talk about in this first race, so I will let you take it.
All right. So race 1, we're on the turf for 5.5 furlongs. It's a maiden special weight, 3-year-olds, $85,000 purse here. I got it 5,792, and I got the best bet. I got my best bet, one of 3 of them on the 5 here, War Smoke. I read Ortiz. It's 1 for 1 in the money in the second place. It ran a good race and it beat a couple other horses. So I'm going to take the chance that Irad opens up early, tries to get on a good day, start trying maybe to assert his dominance. It's a Jeremiah Englehart trained horse. And we watched this race because it was July 17th at Saratoga, and War Smoke. And then the 7 Giramonte, who's my second bet, was also in that race. There was a couple others as well. So no, I think I'm taking the chance that Irad on his second jockey with War Smoke gets it done here. But let me know what you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I got it. So I got this race 5-9, 14-1.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the 9 is pretty interesting. Sheriff Bianco.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a shot at a Jose Irad Ortiz brothers exacta here. I just think that horse is racing in some pretty good form, working out well lately. I will say about this 5 War Smoke, I agree with everything you said. He's by Holy Smoky and War Dancer. This horse's last race was pretty impressive. He essentially closed and won the race. He got beat by a neck. So, it was very close. He got bumped at the beginning. He was pretty wide the whole way. But to go that quick, that late in a 5.5 furlong turf sprint is pretty impressive. So I feel like if this horse gets itself in a better position earlier in the race, it's going to be harder to catch later. It won't have to do as much, picking up the ground as late as it had to. And in this race, I don't know. I think there's some pace for it to run into if it does prefer to come from the back. Like, we see a lot of these Irad horses on the turf. But I don't know. I think the 9 is interesting. So I do like the 5-9 exacta, but I can't say anything bad about the 5 War Smoke.
Yeah, I do like the 9-2 Sheriff Bianco. I also have I put on my toss up the 2 Distract and Attacked. Samuel's on the jockey here. The early speed figures are very good on this horse, and it's a 5.5, and it's a Chad Summers horse. So who knows here what you've got? It's raced in a ton of races. It has a ton of experience. So maybe it just gets on and just goes and then makes everybody play catch up, and then nobody plays catch up. And then,
I agree. I think that is one of the horses I think dictates the pace for sure.
So it's 20-1. So if you're looking for something there, it's got a little bit of a price tag to it there. So that's all I got for race 1, though. I'm good with race 1. You good?
Yeah. All right. So race 2, we're going 1 1/8 on the dirt. It's a dirty claiming race. $48,000 purse, 20,000 claimers. This is one of those races where it's just not a lot of good horses, just all mediocre horses. I got it 8-2, 3-4. I went with the 8 Ashar. This horse was purchased at one point for $650,000. It's by Into Mischief. It's by Wellspring. It broke its maiden, its first time out in a $75,000 maiden. And Kieran McLaughlin immediately dumped this horse into a grade 3 stakes race, and it was just in way over its head. 5th, and then another stakes race after 7th. And then Kieran actually retired and became a jockey's agent. So Kieran McLaughlin is the agent for Luis Zayas. So, as good of a trainer as he was, he's doing pretty well as an agent. But then this horse got, flopped over to the Todd Pletcher barn, and he's just been running in optional claimers and allowance races and just kind of gross races. And I feel like he got his best form in the 40,000 claimer that he just ran in when he went wire to wire that day. And I think he could get him here. I think this is a light field. He likes the mile and an eighth. He's, 1-for-1 at Saratoga. So I think the 8 is going to be the most likely winner here. The 2 Supreme Aura gives me a little bit of anxiety because he has won 2 in a row and he seems to be finally figuring it out. But again, these fields are just so bad, man. You just don't know what horse you're going to get.
Yeah, I've got it 4-8-3-7. I also think Ashar is the best horse here. I just don't want to get burned, so I put the 4 in front of it. But I do like it at 4-1 still. And Saez is on the mount here, so maybe you just get Saez dominates on the best horse, with the best figures and the best balance. But I took the 4 Roaming Union. I like this horse a bit. It's got Joel Rosario on the jockey. I think Joel will get this horse to sprint really fast, really early. And Joel raced with this horse last time out and won at this distance. So maybe there's a little bit, maybe he's got a little bit of a rapport with the horse going, and I'm going to see if he can make it 2 out of 2. Also, he's 6 out of 12. He's got 50% at this distance in the money. So I'm thinking he ends up there somewhere. He's 6-1 right now. So maybe I'll do a 4-8 exacta, see if we get a shark coming up the back and dueling for first. That'll pay out nice, that exacta, if they're 6-1, 4-1. But yeah, I think
I like that 4 as well. One thing I do want to touch on about the 4 is it's trained and owned by Charlie Baker. I really like when that happens because they seem to have more of a vested interest in the horse when they own it and they train it. So I like that as well.
True. The 3 Grumps Little Tots, 4 out of 7 with 2 wins at this distance, and it's Rob Atras and Ricardo Santana. And then the 7 Universal Payday with Tyler Gaffleone on the jockey. It's 10 for 15 at this distance in the money, or all time in the money. So this horse likes to come in 3rd or 4th, or so I think you may get something there. But that's all I got to say about this. This race is just, I was looking at the, it's the one of those DRF pages where you're constantly scrolling because all of these horses have raced so many times.
Yeah.
it's insane. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm glad that's over, and we're gonna move on to race 3. You know what I mean?
And race 3 is a good one. Race 3, we're going 7 furlongs on the dirt, $100,000 maiden special weight. This is a good one. They got some good first time starters, coupled with some good experience. So I think this race is going to be really competitive. I got it 6-7-1-2. What do you got?
I got it 6-7-2-3. Tell me what you like about Cody's Wish, because I was admiring this horse a bit.
Yeah, I think this horse is definitely interesting. I like a play that I like to play is a horse that went long, ran well, and is now cutting back in distance. So this horse came out its first race, 7 furlongs, muddy track. Maybe didn't love the mud, still ran pretty okay. Stretched it out to 1 mile and an eighth, and it still ran pretty well. Little rank along the back stretch, broke slow, still finished 3rd. So now getting back to the distance after stretching out is I just feel like it could hit it right between the eyes. And that, like I said, that's an angle I like to play. The 7 is my second choice, Pipeline. I think he is the most likely upset here. And obviously the morning line will tell you that based on the odds. But Chad Brown, Johnny V, that's a tough horse. So I like the 6, but the 7 is very dangerous.
I did pick the 6 over the 7 though, because even though that Cody's Wish did lose to Pipeline last time, they're running at the shorter distance. That's exactly why I picked the 6 over the 7, just because he's cutting back, and Cody's Wish has ran at this distance before, and so is Pipeline, but Cody's Wish also placed a 3rd. So you know what I mean?
Hummel and for a Bastion, both of those horses have seemed to be pretty good.
Yeah, so it's got some nice rivals, some nice racing in its blood. I also have the 2 Waxman, just because it hasn't raced yet, and I believe it's Irad and Pletcher, and it hasn't raced yet, and it's 8-1. So maybe the horse freaks. Maybe Irad just gets on the horse, and it feels like it's his brother, and they run like the wind. And then Sticky Issue, the 3. It's had 2 bad starts, but now gets a longer distance, and this horse starts to come up. So maybe the 7 furlongs is it for this horse. Maybe it finds a way to pick up. So that's all I got. It's 12-1. So 12-1, 8-1, looking at it, maybe something happens there, but that's all I got really.
Yeah, I'm good there. Race 4, take it.
All right. Race 4, back on the turf, 5.5 furlongs, 3-year-old females and up. It's an allowance race. It's $103,000 allowance race. I've got it 2-7-8-6. What do you got?
I got it 7-3-1-8.
I think your 7 Risky Mischief is the best horse in this race.
Yeah, I just those Into Mischief horses. I mean, this horse though, for me, it's had a lot of races under its belt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is the right spot for it. I feel like they're kind of fishing at this point for this horse because it looks like it should have been a better horse than it has played out to be.
Yeah.
So that's a little iffy for me there. But talk to me about this too. I'm curious as to why you like Fort Drum.
So I wanted to take a couple of shots this week. I like that Fort Drum won its last time out, and it's getting a jockey upgrade from going from Cancel to Gaffleone. Gaffleone, like you said, is winning a lot of races at a high clip. It goes Saez, Irad, Jose, Gaffleone, right, for the jockey lead. So it's 15-1. So you're taking a little bit of chance, but this field isn't like this. I don't think that this field is special. So, this horse won its last time out. It ran a pretty good race. It was able to hold people off, right? So I'm saying, what, maybe it goes for its second one, and then you get a winner at 15-1. You can't beat that. And I'll take Tyler at those prices. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I don't know much about the trainer,
No.
but I mean, just looking at the 2 races, I mean, even the first race, 72,000, finished second and closed pretty well to a good horse in Red Ghost, and then won by a nose. But I mean, like, the fractions are pretty good that it ran in the race that it won. So like you said, this field isn't terribly overpowering, but it is, an overlay at 15-1. I don't think that horse should be 15-1.
Yeah. And like you said about Charlie Baker, this horse is owned by the trainer. So there you go. And it also, the other owner of this horse was the breeder of this horse. So, you're getting
vested interest.
Yeah, you're getting some vested interest. The biggest thing is you're getting that 15-1 tag. You know what I mean? And that's what I was really looking at when I saw Fort Drum. So that was my thought process through it anyway.
Yeah, one horse, like I said, I got it 7-3-1-8. So one horse I do want to talk about is the one, Lily Simone. David Donk, Johnny V. This horse, I think, is racing its best races now in its point in its career. It's coming off of a win and a second place finish at Belmont and Saratoga, and its second place finish was by a head to Jill's a Hot Mess, which is another good horse. So
good horse.
I feel like this one, Lily Simone, could potentially be there at the end just for a price. I don't know where. I don't know if it's good enough to win or not, but I do like that it's got a race at Saratoga, came in second at Saratoga, could have won, but I don't know. I think 93 buyer speed in its last race, and it's 10-1. So I think this is a pretty good horse.
Yeah, I also like the 8 Miss Dominia with Manny Franco, George Weaver trains. Just 2 for 2 at this distance, and won its last time out. So it's 6-1, not a bad price tag. And then the 6 Harper's in Charge, $220,000 purchase, never raced at this distance before. So maybe you get a winner here. I don't know, but there's some good prices. I think this race will get win by a horse that's got a good tag on it. I like that one, Lily Simone at 10-1. That's a nice price. And
I'm a little nervous about the 7 being 8-5, but
yeah.
If this horse has three races, its last 3 all over 100 for the buyer speed. So if this horse just races one of those 3 races, this race, he should be okay.
Yeah,
but there are a couple there's a few hundreds in here. There are a few horses that can pick them up and put them down. So we'll see.
All All right,
Good
race
there?
5. Yeah.
Race 5. We're going 6 furlongs on the dirt. Nice little sprint here. We got a grade 2 prior S stakes for $250,000. This field, I thought this was a tough one. I went with Ricardo because I think he's on the fastest horse for this quick sprint. So I have the 6. So I went 6-1-2-4. The 6 super sensational with Ricardo Santana and Mark Cassie. I feel like this horse, like I said, he's the fastest one. Especially coming out of his last race where he faced a tough Bella Sofia, who's a good horse. So I don't know. I feel like this horse could run away from everybody. What do you got?
Yeah, I also like the fact that Super Sensational beat out what's his face search results. That's a good horse. But I got it 2-6-5-1. The reason I stayed away from Super Sensational as my number 1 is just because it's 6-5. If this horse wasn't 6-5, I would have put it as my first. But I did like the 2 Eeny Meeny Miny Mo. Pretty funny name for a horse, but I just like that this horse is 2 for 2 at this distance, and it's a quick runner, so it's gonna come out there and sprint, and it's gonna want somebody to try to catch up to it. Maybe it does, but
I just
doesn't
don't
have
know
any
enough
races at
about Victor
Saratoga.
Espinosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about the jockey.
The problem with this horse is it has a little bit of problem at the gate. It kind of like buckles at the gate a bit.
I was going to say, if you look at, it says twice. That's crazy. I've never seen a horse hop twice.
Yeah. So hopefully we get over those issues. But when the horse gets to running, it really starts going. But it's got to get over the gate issue. So I'm hoping for a good break out of the gate, and then we're just off. But no, I do like the 6 Super Sensational. I also like the 5 Amendment 19 with Brad Cox and Jose Ortiz. That's a good horse. And Brad Cox is 17 for 82 with new horses in sprints. I thought that was pretty interesting. And it's intriguing if the pace, there is a chance that the pace in this race is super slow. Like a horse doesn't break right. You know what I mean? And I think that could help Amendment 19. But I think ultimately what that'll do is that'll help Super Sensational start breaking fast and getting out. So I like the 6 here though.
Yeah, I agree. And one I do want to throw out there to consider is another Tyler horse. I feel like I'm always throwing Tyler horses out in every race. Yeah. But the 4 Scylla or Sia, I don't know how they say it. But it's Charlie Baker, and it's 1-2 in a row coming in. So it's coming in pretty good form, I would say. A couple of stakes races, nothing graded, but still, I mean, it won a $70,000 stake and a $73,000 stake back to back. So I don't know. That one just kind of struck me as a little interesting. It's never raced at Saratoga, but if it races one of its 105 or 102 buyer figures, it could have something to say here. But I don't know. I just feel like Super Sensational might be a little bit too much for this field.
Yep, I agree with you.
Race 6, you got it.
Race 6. All right, we're on the inner turf. 1 1/16, 2-year-old maiden special weight, $100,000. I've got it 9-12-1-6. Tell me what you got here.
8-9-10-6.
Okay, but the 9.
Tell me about the 9.
Okay, 02035. I have it written down differently so I would remember the name of it. Like, and you know what I mean? I wrote like OH2, OH3, 5. But 2 for 2 all time with the top 3 finish at this distance, in the money. So maybe this horse isn't a winner, but I think it'll be in the money somewhere. You'll find it in the money. And we get Eric Kinsell and Weaver here. But I like the experience that the horse has. I'm taking experience in this long race. We got long races and we got horses that have never really been out before. So maybe that bites the younger horses in the butt. But I'm going to take a chance with the 9. I think it's got a chance to win, and it's got some experience. I like it.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a same thing there with going with the 8 Nyquist Nix, Mark Cassie, Luis Zayas. I liked his last race out because it appeared he got a little bumped. So maybe I'm hoping he gets a better trip here.
Mhm.
I like the distance that he raced, before is the same as this. So he's racing at Saratoga again. He's racing at the same distance. Maybe he'll like it. So I'm just taking a little shot there at 5-1 and hoping Louis gets one.
Yep. Yeah. Louis actually on some good prices. I was pretty intrigued looking at what they were giving him. I think he's on a 12-1 a little bit later on, which I was like, oh,
Yeah, the Louis effect hasn't gotten
taking.
to the point as like the IRAD effect was last year. I mean,
Yeah.
remember some of those horses last year, IRAD he would get bet down to like 6-5 on a horse that had
Yeah.
no business being 6-5.
Yeah.
Granted, he would win most of them, but
Yeah.
still, like, you're not really seeing Louis have that. But I think it's because so many people understand that, like, this, I feel like this season, because of COVID, like, I feel like all the horses are just like, this season, everybody turned out their best horses. So
Yeah.
like each race is almost more competitive than they would have been a year ago. So like,
Gotcha.
even though Louis on a 8-1 and he's winning, that's still a good horse. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me, but that's kind of my only explanation I can come up with, is that I just feel like they're better races this year than they were last year.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, so I'm good there for race 6. You good?
Yeah, just want to take also a look at the number 12 Immokalee, 750K purchase, and it showed in already in 100K special weight, but it's going a little bit longer here. So it looks like it didn't have enough chance to sprint. They're going to want this horse to get out, and went from 6th place to 2nd place to 3rd place. Maybe this horse has a little bit more to give. So they're taking a chance there, and it's a $750,000 horse. So, why not? But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, race 7. We're going 7 furlongs on the dirt. It's $100,000 maiden special weight. I got it 310, 8-4. What do you got?
I got a 3-4-7-10. Tell me what you like about the 310 gauge, because we're brothers here. We got the same winner.
Yeah, I've just had some luck with Steve Asmussen and Ricardo Santana in these maiden races, and I'm going to try to keep rolling with it. I think there's something to be said about Three Chimneys Farms. They typically have good horses, and this horse is by Gun Runner, who was one of Steve Asmussen's most prolific horses in his career. So I think that there's a little bit of a kind of a, not maybe so much a vested interest, but I feel like Steve, like I said, he had Gun Runner, and now he has one of Gun Runner's kids, and he wants to turn it out the right way. So I just feel like that 10 gauge at a price at 5-1 shouldn't go off as the favorite. I think the favorite's probably going to be the 4 or the 8. So I feel like we should get a little bit of a good price. Maybe not 5-1. Maybe we get 4-1, which is still $10 for 2. So, we'll take it there. That's 100 for 20 if you do our math. But yeah, so I got it 310, 8-4. Tell me what you thought about 10 gauge.
No, I like 10 gauge also for all the same reasons you do, and also the early pace, because this horse may just Ricardo's going to want to go fast on this horse, and this horse will give it to him early. It's going to let him run a little bit. So I think that's good for this horse, and I think maybe it'll put everybody just kind of behind the 8 ball there, and show out and get a win here. So I like 10 gauge. I like his early figs, and I like the price. The 5-1. He's not going to be the favorite at post. And yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, even in his last race, he stayed in 2nd the whole time. So this is a horse.
Yeah, he just ran into a good horse in due time, like you said. I mean, that, like, he broke well, and he was literally neck and neck the whole way, and then only lost by, a length. And the jockey, I don't know his name, G. Corrales. I think you could say that Ricardo Santana is a significant upgrade.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We get a little bit of an upgrade there.
And that was a muddy race. That was
Yeah.
a muddy race. You don't know how these, sometimes when you have these maiden horses and their first time they step on a track, there's moisture in the track. We don't know how they're going to like it, because they're typically not working out with moisture in the track.
Yeah.
So, I think that tomorrow, again, it's supposed to be a nice day. It should be faster. Maybe he gets off a little better this time.
Yep, I agree with you. There's only one more thing I want to say about this horse, or not this horse, but this race. The number 7 I have as my 3 pick. It's a 400K purchase. It's 30-1. It's got Tyler on the mount, and its father was American Pharoah. So, maybe you get a chance here. The horse has never raced, and it's 30-1. Maybe something happens in this horse.
Some of those American Pharoah horses win their first time out too.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of them do it.
You know what I mean? It's got good genes, so why not take a shot? 30-1. I mean, against a bunch of first time outs.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know. Yeah, I'm good there.
All right, race 8. Race 8, we're going a mile and a 16th on the turf, Saranac Grade 3 stakes race. I like the Saranac. It's always a good race. It's got, it's one of the oldest races at Saratoga, so it's got a lot of history to it. It's really an important race, for Saratoga. So I don't know. I've always liked this one. I think that it's a throwdown between 2 horses. I think there's a lot of good horses, don't get me wrong, but I think the 2 that are going to just absolutely just beat down each other are the 1 and the 4. I got it 1, 4, 2, 5. So maybe because the 1 and the 4 are going to fight so much this race that it opens it up for somebody else. But I feel like what the 4 does best helps the 1, and what the 1 does best helps the 4. So I ultimately went with Public Sector because it's a shipper, and I like those shipping horses on the turf. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with my play there, my angle. And I just, I get Irad, I get Chad Brown. It seems to be a horse that's racing really well lately. I don't love that it's got clipped a couple times at the wire, especially this year, because I've been clipped at the wire an ungodly amount at Saratoga this year. So that makes me a little nervous, but I am going with the 1, Public Sector. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the 1 as well. I got it 1, 5, 4, 3. Public Sector is fresh off a grade 2 win, 3 out of 3 in the money at this distance with a win. And it's Irad and Chad Brown. And Chad Brown has really come into form as of late at Saratoga. He's been really, really starting to get some wins and really take over, with it under its belt. So, Public Sector has been in some great races. It's been in some grade 2s, been in a juvenile turf sprint at the Breeders' Cup. So this is a horse with a lot of, give to it. It's got some experience, and I'm taking the experience in this horse because I think the 4 is going to get going. It's going to really take off, and it's going to lead at a pace. But I think what ends up happening at Saratoga most of the time is that it gets caught. A horse like that'll get caught. Maybe Saez is smart enough not to get caught with the 4. Maybe he does something. He's been great, so you can't ever count him out. But I'm hoping that the 1 clips the 4 at the finish line.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's possible. I really do. Based on its last, the 2 races that the 4 won, it did win them handedly. I mean, it weren't the best fields, but wasn't terrible. I mean, he in his last race in the Kitten's Joy, he just, I don't know, maybe he just didn't like it. It says it took back. He was a little keen, 4 wide, ran wide around the whole trip. So maybe he gets a little better trip here. I don't know. I just feel like as of lately, I'm gonna go with the horse that's won twice at Saratoga, versus one that's never raced there.
Yeah, and that's my point too. Is that I just never surprised runs a grade 3 and loses. You know what I mean? Public Sector runs a grade 2 and wins.
And now, don't get me wrong. We watched that Hall. Well, I don't know if that was on a Saturday or if you watched it as well, but that Hall of Fame at Saratoga, it wasn't a great field. He was a pretty heavy favorite, and he won like he should have with Flavian Pratt and won by a length. But like you said, I mean, he winning a grade 2 is still winning a grade 2. I don't care about the field. You're still good enough to win it. So I think we're on the right one here. I do.
Yep. That's what I got there. So.
All right. Race 9, take it.
All righty. Race 9. We're going a mile and a 16th, 3-year-old females and up. This is an allowance race. This is a $90,000 purse. I have it 3, 10, 5, 7. What do you got?
I got it 3, 2, 10, 6. we're both again on the 3, which is looking to be a theme here today, as we're not usually together this much.
No.
Before we
Never
talk
together
about
like
the
that.
3, I want to just touch on the fact that I do think the 10's very good. English Breeze. I think this is a good horse. Manny Franco, David Donk. What I don't love is that this horse just doesn't like to win. So
Yeah.
that's why I went with the 3, is because the 3 has won at Saratoga. Yes, the 3 hasn't won a lot, but he's had fewer races than the 10. So I think that for me is a little bit of the difference. So I'm going with the 3, looking to fly. Tell me what you like about the 3.
Well, I'm liking that it's 8-1 with Luis Saez on the mount, and it won its last time out with Luis Saez on the mount, and it's beaten horses like Mongoose and Bella Principessa. Those aren't bad horses; those are good horses. So even though it was in like a it was a $40,000 maiden, it had some juice in it. It still had to win, and it's 1-for-1 with a win at this distance, and it's 4-for-5 with a win on turf. So this horse is going to end up somewhere in the money. I'm just guessing that it wins, and it's 8-1 with Luis Saez, and I don't think you can beat that. Maybe it's not 8-1 at post time, but I'll take the chances that it's 8-1.
Yeah, I love the price tag there. So that's I'm set there. I'm not making any more decisions about that one.
Yeah. The only thing is that 7 Freedom Machine with Jose Lascano. He can steal this race. He's one of those guys that'll always look to steal a race off of somebody, and he could get that done here. But I'm hoping not, because that Looking to Fly, if that comes home at 8-1, all the gifts of money hitting people in the face. That's how I'm going to be feeling if that horse wins. You know what I mean? So that's what I got. That's what I got there on the race 10.
Race 10, it's all you.
All right. We're on the dirt for 6.5 furlongs. This is 3-year-olds and up. It's an allowance race. It's $103,000 purse. I've got it 6-8-5-1. What do you have it?
So this is where my first best bet of the day is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the 3 Ducali. So I got 3-10-1-9. I really like this horse, Ducali. I like his last race when he broke his maiden. He won by 2 lengths at Saratoga, going 7 furlongs. So I think he's going to like cutting half a furlong because it'll allow him to go faster earlier. This horse by Juddmonte Farms. Brad Cox is the trainer by Twirling Candy. I think everything kind of fits here. I'm not big on Manny Franco this year. He hasn't been riding as well as he did last year, but he won with him last time at Saratoga, and he beat Askin for a Baskin, and he beat Southern Flag in that maiden race. Those are 2 good horses. So I think Ducali's got a good shot here, and I like it at 5-2. He shouldn't be a terrible favorite, but he's probably going to be the lowest price.
Yeah, and also Juddmonte Farms. I like this 3. I was actually kind of sad that I left it off because I do like this horse, and I remember him winning by a couple lengths when we watched it at Saratoga earlier this year. But I'm going with Olympiad, the 6, Billy Mott and Joel Rosario. It was a winner its last time out, and it's 2
Junior
for 2.
Alvarado.
Sorry, it's Junior Alvarado. I'm sorry. What did I say?
Joel. Yeah.
I said Joel.
Junior Alvarado.
Yep, Junior. Yep, and it's Billy Mott. It was a winner last time out, 2 for 2 in the money all time with a win. So, and it's had Junior on it both times it's ran. So I'm hoping that we
$1,000 purchase too.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but I'm hoping
paid a pretty penny for that one.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this horse. Has a little bit of a kick to it. We start seeing some potential out of this horse. So, I was just taking the chance, and it's got some Saratoga races under its belt, so it knows this. It knows this track. It doesn't need any introduction, so this horse should get it done. I'm hoping that the experience comes here.
Yeah, I like that angle, and I mean, this horse is coming off of a layoff. It hasn't raced since September of 2020, but if you look, like it raced its first race at Saratoga, and then its second one at Saratoga, and now it's coming back. So this is definitely a horse that they think would like the course. So I like that there at 8-1. I did also leave him off. So maybe I might put him in a triple or something, or an exacta, maybe just to sprinkle him in there. Cause I think the price is good. And the only reason why I corrected you is because I don't know if you've noticed, but it's like almost always whenever Bill Mott has a horse, it's Junior Alvarado as his jockey.
Yeah.
It's like they're like hand in hand together like Ricardo and Steve Asmussen.
He's on. I don't know why I haven't even. I didn't even like Freudian slip or anything. I actually have Joel on here, so I made a mistake. I saw the J and was like, oh, it's Joel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also the 8 Baby Yoda, Jose and Billy Mott, 3 for 3 in the money with 2 wins, and it's got some good early pace. So if you're looking for a horse there, it's there. But I'm good with that one.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead, take race 11.
Are you sure these are the last two, or the graded ones, man? You don't want to take your graded. You don't want to talk about Warlike Goddess.
Yeah, I will, but go ahead. You take 11. I'll take 12.
All right. Race 11, we got the grade 1 Flower Bowl Stakes. This is usually at Belmont, but now this year it's at Saratoga. We're on the inner turf for 1 3/8 miles, 4-year-old females and up, and the purse is $600,000. It's a nice, pretty penny for this race. I've got it 3, 2, 4, 5. Dylan also has the 3 as the winner, and they're both of our best bets. So tell me what you like about Warlike Goddess.
Yeah, so Warlike Goddess, this horse is really, it's one of my favorite styles to play. Is a horse that absolutely just comes flying late, doesn't matter the pace, doesn't need the pace. It just knows when it has to run. And if you look, these numbers are crazy. It's never posted under 100 buyer figure, so it's always running fast, and it progressively gets better. And on top of that, it's gone from 7th to 1st to 7th to 1st to 8th to 1st to 6th to 1st to 7th to 1st. So this horse just, I mean, when he runs, he runs. So I really feel like with Julian Leperoux as the jockey, who he's been the jockey the last 4 times he's raced him. I just feel like this is probably the best horse of the day. I mean, this horse beat My Sister Nat last time out, and My Sister Nat has probably one of the most ferocious turns of foot that I've seen on turf in a long time. So for this horse to catch it and then win by 3 1/4 lengths, I don't know, man. I feel like, yep, it's 4 to 5. It's going to be the probably the lowest priced horse of the entire day, but it should be. I mean, I just think this is the best horse you're going to see this Saturday.
Yeah, if you're gonna beat My Sister Nat, you got to run a good race. My Sister Nat every time maybe a bit overmatched, but it always runs well. It's always very game. So I do like that about Warlike Goddess. And it's got one bad race, and I think it got bumped in its first race. Like it just didn't start well. It got got a little twitchy, but it's come back. Grade 3 win, grade 3 win, grade 2 win. So I'm hoping for a grade 1 win here. It's also my best bet as well as yours. Really not much more I could say about it. I do like the 2 American Bridge. The horse can deal with the distance. It's going to be about the class. If it belongs, which I'm suspect about. I think Warlike Goddess is the best horse here. So
I like the 1 too. I think the 1's going to get a price. I think it's going to come in 2nd or 3rd. I really do. I think Ricardo Santana, Brendan Walsh, this horse is running really good. I mean, it's in the money almost every time it races. So I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like you're going to get a good setup in front of it for it to be there around at the end, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And and the 4 My Sister Nat, you know what I mean? Maybe if something happens to the 3, it doesn't run well. This horse can always put in a good shift. So
there's the only 2 for sure things about this race is that the 3 and the 4 are going to be flying late, and it's just a matter of who's going to get the better trip. I'm good there.
Yep, good there.
Race 12. We're going 1.25 miles on the dirt. So nice long marathon we got here in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. That one is so. I don't know if it's because the club and the club and the gold and the cup, it just always messes me up. So we got a grade 1. It's $1 million purse. Very good race here. We got a 2-4-1-5. What do you got?
I got a 2-1-4-3. I do like Max Player, and we both have it here. And do you want me to tell you why I like Max Player?
Yeah.
So this is Ricardo Santana and Steve Asmussen. I feel like we've been talking about Ricardo Santana a lot today, but just this horse is good. And if anything happens, if it's wet for any reason, this horse will still run, and it can win in the slop. So just this horse has got a lot of experience. It's got a lot of good races under its belt. And I'm hoping that the late pace brings it home. I like this horse. I think it definitely has a chance here in this race. I wasn't too keen about any of these other horses.
Well, I think the 4 Happy Saver has to be respected. It is the defending Jockey Club Gold Cup winner. It did win this race last year, and I just feel like if Happy Saver runs the way it was running before its last time out at Belmont in the slop. But again, that Max Player isn't a horse that likes moisture. I mean, every one of its races, it's fast, except for the one that it didn't race well. So this horse, Happy Saver, is 5 for 6 in its lifetime, and it's very dangerous. So although we're both taking the 2, and I like Max Player as well as you do, I just think the 4 is very, very dangerous. So I'm going to box the 2 and the 4 and just kind of let everything fall where it may.
The layoff is concerning to me.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It has to. There's no doubt that Happy Saver has to show everybody that it still wants to run.
Yeah,
I fully agree.
Yeah. But
if it does, man, some of those numbers are crazy that it put up. But I mean, like we said, Max Player is no joke, and I think Max Player is coming out of its best race. So that's always a good. What have you done for me lately? Well, I gave you 122 buyer speed and won a grade 2 Suburban. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, Forza Dioro, the 1 is 8-5. It's Alvarado and Billy Mott. Again, it's won its last 2. Including a grade 3. And then the 3 Chess Chief, you always have to be wary of Luis Saez and Dallas Stewart. But this horse has a lot of jockey change I don't like about that horse. But it's 15-1. You get Saez on a 15-1. So
I think we are going to end up getting a better price, or a price that's closer to the 5-2 for number 2 Max Player. Because the 1 is going to be around the 8-5, as well as the 4 Happy Saver. I feel like he's going to be around 2-1, 9-5. So I'm hoping maybe we get 5-2, or maybe even 3-1 on the 2. But it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens.
Yep. And
yeah, but I'm good there.
And we're good. We're all done.
That's it, man. Before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you to everybody for, another successful season of the Final Furlong. Thank you to everybody who follows the article, watches the videos. We appreciate all the support. RJ, as always, thank you to you. Without you, man, this wouldn't be possible.
Dude,
this is one of my favorite things that, we do together, because it's something we've always, I mean, you and I, we used to sit in the dorm room in college and just talk about sports for hours. So for us to be able to do something like this is just, it's perfect. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And as always, thank you to everybody else too, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be doing anything that I enjoy as much as this. I mean, talking about it, I was talking to my friends about like how many fantasy leagues that I'm in, and I was like, well, I'm in 7 fantasy football leagues this year. It's a little bit too much, but if you think about it, I'm also in the fantasy baseball league that hasn't finished yet, and I made fantasy basketball playoffs. I was like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I've been watching sports nonstop the whole year. And then when we started, like, it feels crazy because this is the last week that we're doing the Final Furlongs, last week at Saratoga, but all day tomorrow is football. You know what I mean? So it's football season again. So, but right around the corner, the Super Bowl will be here, and then we'll be getting ready for the early spring at Belmont. So
yeah, it does go by so quick.
It goes by so quick.
the cool thing, like you said, is like the last weekend of Saratoga is like, yeah, but it's football season.
It's football season, so like, yeah, it's sad that this Saratoga is ending. That does suck. You know what I mean? I would love to have another Travers. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
do that again, because it feels like it's flown by so fast. Like Belmont was like what 3-4 months ago at this point. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think July 20 something we started this thing.
Yeah,
what I mean? Like that. Boom, summer's over.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. Like all the kids are like. I went outside to like throw out the trash at like 3:00, and all the kids are coming off the bus, and I was like, oh shit, school started. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. It's nuts. But as always, we'll be back for some football action. We'll definitely have some stuff to put out there this year. We definitely like talking about football. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you want to do? We'll talk about it over the phone, but we'll do. You want to do a couple college picks and then a couple NFL or do something like that?
Yeah, we'll make something work, but we'll start that next weekend. That'll be our first week. We'll start with it'll be technically week 3 of college football, but everybody considered. I don't know. This is the first year I've ever heard week 0. I didn't know week 0 was a thing. I thought last week was just week 1.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll be back next week for sure.
Is it really week 1 if you're watching Jacksonville State play? Who are they playing? UAB on ESPN 3.
Some of us may have been interested in that game.
Oh no, dude, I was definitely interested. I was watching the whole game, but Jesus, I was like, I'm really watching this game. You know what I mean? Like, I really have a vested interest in this game right now. It's like crazy, but thank God.
What happens when we're 26 and nothing else to do?
You know what I mean? You gotta do. You gotta get something, get the blood flowing. You know what I mean? But
awesome. Well, RJ, as always, man, thank you. Appreciate it. Great season.
See you soon.